Adolescence is defined as a period of life that starts with the biological, hormonal, and physical changes of puberty and ends at the age at which an individual attains a stable, independent role in society.
Adults and adolescents use a different cognitive strategy to make social decisions. Myths about adolescence include adolescents are irrational or deficit in their information processing. Adolescents do not perceive risks, whereas adults do. Adolescents are less risk averse than adults, when in reality their brains are changing rapidly.
One of the brain regions that changes the most dramatically in adolescence is the prefrontal cortex.
It is involved in a whole range of high-level cognitive functions, things like decision-making, planning, inhibiting inappropriate behavior, as well as social interaction, understanding other people, and self-awareness.
The dopamine reward system of the brain connects the brainstem, limbic area, and the cortex.
The baseline levels of dopamine in an adolescent compared to an adult or a child are lower, but the release amounts are higher.
Increases in risk-taking between childhood and adolescence is due primarily to increases in sensation seeking that are linked to changes in patterns of the release of dopamine around the time of puberty. The changes in the brain's reward system can lead to confusion, disorientation, and depression.
Changes in the brain's reward system also leads to an increased vulnerability to risky behaviors and addiction coupled with poor judgment and lack of impulse control. Dopaminergic activity plays a large role in emotional regulation, therefore these changes likely shape the socio-emotional course of adolescence.
One of the major things that releases dopamine is novelty, something new. This is why teens get bored doing the same thing every day and why they think something like school is a big waste of time.
Teens are also engaged in hyper-rational thinking due to these changes in the brain, which is going to focus more on the positive aspects of a choice and minimize the negative dangers of a choice.
During adolescence, there is a significant decline in gray matter volume in the prefrontal cortex. This is a very important developmental process because gray matter contains cell bodies and connections between cells.
This decline in gray matter volume during prefrontal cortex is thought to correspond to synaptic pruning, the elimination of unwanted synapses. The synapses that are being used are strengthened, and synapses that aren't being used in that particular environment are pruned away.
All of these changes within the teenage brain contribute toward increased risky behavior and impulsive decision making. Here are some interesting statistics. Nearly 25% of adolescents are regular cigarette smokers. Nearly 30% of adolescents had ridden in a car driven by someone who's drunk, and you are 3 times more likely to die or get seriously injured by a preventable cause when you're an adolescent.
Thank you for watching!